Okay, rant time. Yeah, got a random boost of energy. You know when you're tired for so long that you randomly get energized? Yeah, that's me right now. Turn this goddamn fan off. Hey, what am I doing in my room, bro? My dad just left for work. I ain't gotta be in there no more. Fuck that shit. Okay, so I want to make an Infinity Gauntlet, but for albums. Y'all know how I released my album Mr. Rap Conic in 2022, my first ever album? Well, I'm thinking that could be like the Space Stone. You know, blue album cover, blue stone, and we can make the album covers relate to the stones and the colors and shit. And we can do it with different aspects of being a rapper. Because to me personally, here's what I qualify as a GOAT rapper. All right, to be one of the greatest of all time, you gotta one be iconic, straight up. All right, iconic rapper. Whether that be your songs, whether that be your personality, you just gotta be iconic. All right, like you can be one of the most talented rappers ever, but if you're not known to the world and you're not iconic to the world, where niggas hear your songs from a decade, 20 fucking years ago or whatever, and they're like, hell yeah, this was a banger, this is an iconic song right here. Or when you drop something new, they'd be like, this is an instant classic, this is gonna become iconic for years to come. Like, if you don't got that, then you can't be the GOAT to me. I'm sorry, you can't. Next, we got flow. Everyone knows this. I'm not saying you need the most unique flow out there, but you need like a GOAT flow. Something that people hear, they're like, okay, this reminds me of this song by this nigga, yada yada yada. We're like, okay, man, this dude's flow is crazy. He's one of the best in the game, yada yada yada. All right, you need a voice. All right, now you can do pretty much anything with your voice. Okay, with technology for mixing only getting better and better, you can make your voice sound like whatever the fuck you want. But if you got that vocal range naturally, I'm not saying you need to be on some like what's that? Okay, I just heard something from my phone. Don't like that. But I'm not saying you need to be on like that Michael Jackson bullshit, right? But if your voice is up to par and you actually get that range where you don't need all those distortion effects, and you know, and on top of it, if you know how to use the distortion effects correctly and all that, you can have one of the best voices of all time. All right, it's flow, it's voice, longevity. You need longevity to be a rapper. I don't care. I'm not considering somebody that was good for like 5 years the GOAT rapper. That's why I say Tupac can't be a GOAT rapper, Biggie can't be a GOAT rapper, Nas, Jay Z, any of them niggas that ain't got that longevity, bro. All right, like straight up, none of them niggas that got that don't got that longevity for any reason, dead, prison, I don't care. They can't be the GOAT in my eyes. All right. All right, voice, flow, longevity, adaptability. You need adaptability. Now, there's a good example and a bad example. A good example is Lil Wayne. That nigga's been rapping for like 20 fucking years. I think damn near 30. And he has had the adaptability of a god. Alright, no matter how the rap game has changed, he has seen it all and he has lived through it all and he's been able to adapt to the sound. He's still in the modern day carrying rappers. Think about that. These rappers grew up with this certain sound. They practice pretty much only this certain sound. And this random ass, well, I don't say random, that's disrespectful. But this nigga from like 30 years ago is carrying them on their own sound. That is premium adaptability right there. Like Future, right? He got so much adaptability, it's crazy. This man's been on top of the game for so fucking long. I personally think he's the best trap rapper of all time. Alright? He does trap and he does it like a damn god. Straight up. And how it's evolved over the years, he don't care. He will evolve right with it. You need to be able to do that. Now the bad example would be Lil Wayne. Okay, Lil Wayne has no adaptability. I'm gonna be honest with you. Alright? He does one thing well, and that's about it. Straight up. Alright, adaptability is ass. To the point where he had to kill off his old character in a new album just to get people to listen. Alright. He still does the same thing over and over again. And he had to joke on that. He had to do like a joke album so people wouldn't take it seriously. You know why he did that? Because it was a cop out. He knew that if he actually tried to make a good album and people didn't fuck with it, it'd be on him. But if people don't fuck with the album he just dropped, 2024, you know what he can say? Oh, it was a joke. It was like a satirical album. It wasn't like serious. That's a cop out because he doesn't have good adaptability. Okay? Alright, so what did we go over so far? Longevity, adaptability, iconicness, flow, voice. Which one am I missing? Shit, which one is okay? I had it all thought out. God damn it. Okay, that right there, that right there. I'm not gonna say which one's going which spot yet, but got that right there. That's that. Got that right there. That's that. Got that right there. That's that. Got that right there. That's lyricism. That's what it is. That's all I'm missing. Lyricism. You need good lyricism, okay? I'm not saying you need to be on the most Shakespearean bullshit every album or every song. I'm not saying you need a quadruple entendre to start off a fucking feature, bro. No. But you need good lyricism, okay? You need to, when you need to be able to pull out that fucking pen and go to work, bro. I'm talking about shit that will go over niggas' heads and they gotta listen to it a couple times to get what you're talking about. That's what I'm talking about with good lyricism, right? You need versatility in your lyrics. You need to be able to just say some random bullshit and it sounds good because you know what you're doing, you know how to write that shit. And then you be able to say some lyrical shit and it sounds good. Like a great example would be Kendrick Lamar. He is able to do a super lyrical song like Duckworth, like that song. And then he's able to talk about top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning, and it still sounds good. Like his lyrics are both ass and phenomenal at the same time. He has that versatility, that range. Alright? Like that's what makes him good lyricist. J. Cole, he has that lyricism, that storytelling ability, and then the ability just to rap his ass off and make it sound good. Even though he's not telling the story. But it sounds like he is just because of what he's saying. Or Drake, he has the ability to make simple lyrics sound so deep. Or like the lyrics he says, they aren't that complex. Most people can get them, but once you really understand them, it's deep. Like with Drake, you can listen to what he says, but you gotta hear what he says. There's a difference. Alright? Like most Drake songs, I didn't understand as a kid. But now that I've grown up and I've been through some shit, had some experiences, listening back to those same songs, the lyrics are still basic, but they hit a lot harder. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? And how I would do this is this, right? We already got the blue one out the way. That's 2022's album, Mr. Rap Con. That's iconicness out the way. Okay? Cool. The next one I would probably do would be flow, because that's been one of my weak points throughout my career, and I need to work on that because I feel like flow could be a good building block for the rest of these. Alright? Because I feel like if you got great lyrics but your flow is trash, it's not gonna help you, especially on a super lyrical song. Also, I'll focus on each thing, okay? Alright? I'll focus on each thing. I'll explain that later, but yeah, you need the good lyricism, okay? Need it. Not the lyrics, I mean the flow. We need to listen to. Let me explain, okay? You need lyricism, but you need the flow on top of that. Because with lyrical songs, they tend to be longer. And I'm not talking about just a beat, I'm talking about the lines, the bars. One line may take up 2 bars on the song. That's what I mean by longer. Alright? You need to be able to say what you need to say and get it out quickly, but also efficiently. But you don't want to ramble on and say one line for like 20 seconds. Okay, so you need to be able to master that quick flow while also being able to get shit out quickly and efficiently. Alright? And with voice, you can have a good voice, but if your flow isn't there, it's not going to hit the same. Just like how I say, a lot of people think that Fred Solomon, who y'all know as a sellout, people say he's better rapper than me, even though I personally believe he isn't, because he doesn't try to be. But they say he's better because he got the good flows and shit, right? He got that shit you can just vibe to. His lyrics are ass. He talks about random bullshit that has nothing to do with the song. It's just, he has bad lyrics, objectively. He knows this, I know this, he's accepted it. And his voice isn't that good because he doesn't record a proper microphone. His mic's often blown out, often a lot of glitches in the songs. But people skip past that because he got a good flow. They don't care what he's saying or how it sounds, they just vibe to it. Alright? So I say flow is like one of like the cornerstones of any rap song. No matter what type of style you do, you need a good flow. Okay? It don't matter if you got a great vocal take, it matter if you got crazy lyrics, it matter if you got a great beat, if you're sound like that inconsistent shit, or like just that flow doesn't sound good. Or if you rapping like Eminem on Rap God on damn Brent Faiyaz type beat, bro, like it's not gonna sound good. Okay? You need the flow. So that's why I say it is the power stone. Alright? Purple. And the reason I say that is it's honestly the power of your song. Your flow can impact everything. Like if you have a slow song, you need a slow flow. And if you want to have your slow song hit a little bit harder, you speed up the flow a little bit. Or if you want to have your hype song be a little more chilled out, you slow the flow a little bit. Like one of the people I say is a master of flows and versatility in their flows, I would say that's Drake. I mean, this man has so many flows that people say he's stealing them. Which I'll admit, a couple times he has blatantly ripped off some flows, but the way he does them is wild. And the way I know is because you know that song "Search and Rescue." You're like, I need someone to rescue me, like that one with Kim K and shit. We were trying to confess love to Kim K. Yeah, that song. Well, I actually got bored one day. I downloaded the song, put it in a vocal remover, which separates the beats and the vocals, and I took the vocals and I moved them 1/4 bar, and every time it sounded good. Okay, that's hard to do. Trust me. Like anytime I moved the vocals, no matter where I moved them, as long as it was on one of those 4 bars, it sounded good. Even off beat, half the time it still sounded good because he mastered the flow of the song. So it didn't matter. He didn't need the beat to flow. He flowed, and then the beat came in and supported him. The beat didn't carry him with his flows. That's the difference. All right, a lot of rappers, they just flow with how the beat flows. All right. So yeah, that's why I say it's the Power Stone, powerhouse of a song. Now the next one, I say voice. Now I can see it being swapped with the Power Stone. Don't get me wrong, I can see it being swapped because they're so intrinsically linked. Personally, I think you can't make a good song if you don't have both of them to some degree. If you have a horrible voice but a good flow, it's not gonna sound good. If you have a perfect voice but horrible flow, it's not gonna sound good. All right. So you could swap these, but I say Reality Stone is voice because of the manipulation you can do with it. Okay. Like yes, you can change your flows whenever, but it's really not gonna sound good. Okay, unless you like stick to some specific thing. Because beats are so limiting. Like beats have certain style, certain sound, but with your voice, you can do whatever. Like those little like parts where you go up and down when you say words, or like up at the end of the words, down at the start, or vice versa. That's what's gonna make or break your song. That's gonna get people to vibe along to it right there. Right? Like you can't just talk monotone throughout your entire songs. Right? You need something. You need something to break it up. And the mixing is so important. That manipulates your voice. You can have a perfect vocal take, but if you have trash mixing, which is voice manipulation, then your song's gonna sound trash. Or if you say a song in a different tone of voice, it can change the entire vibe of the song. Sometimes it can even change the genre. Like that's how important it is, bro. Sometimes the entire genre changes. Same song, same beat, same lyrics, same flow. But if you got a different tone of voice with it, or you use different voice preset or whatever, it changes the entire genre sometimes. Like truly. Like with some of my beats, right? If I was to use my normal rapping voice, it would be melodic rap, okay? But if I was able to like pitch up my voice and do it at a higher tone, it would turn into like pop or like pop rap or something like that. Like a whole different genre. Or if I tone my voice down, make it deeper, start talking like this, buddy. Yeah. It would probably turn to something like country rap, like that one dude, Shabuzi or whatever. Yeah, like that's what I'm talking about with voice. So yes, is the reality of your songs. How people perceive your song, like just like how they perceive reality, it all comes down to your voice. Straight up. Like I'm just telling you that right now. And that's why my music got so much better recently and so fast, because I've been working on my voice, making sure when I record, it doesn't sound like how I'm talking right now. Because right now I would talk in my normal tone in my songs, just louder, just more projecting my voice. But I would talk in the exact same tone, this monotone, boring ass tone. Nobody wants to listen to this shit for a whole album. So you gotta switch it up. You gotta make your voice more professional, more rap-like. All right. That's what you notice. Pretty much no matter what the genre is, a rapper's going to sound different on their songs than they do when they talk. Alright? Even if it's slight. Like one people that doesn't change their voice that much is Polo G, but even when he talks in interviews and when he raps, even when he's rapping, even when he's not singing, when he's just rapping a normal song, you can still hear the difference in tone. Alright? It's important. So yes, you can change the reality of your songs by changing your voice. So that's why I say voice is perfect for reality. Let's get the obvious one out the way, the time stone. The time stone is longevity, obviously. You know, time, seeing into the future and all that, being in the future. Like, I don't really need to explain that one. Time equals longevity, okay? Lyricism equals mind stone, alright? Now, this stone links with all the others, and I say it is perfect for that because while good lyrics are not required for a song, depending on what type of song you're doing, good lyrics are not required. But you're not gonna get away for long with bad lyrics, okay? You need to get good lyrics at some point. Alright? I'm gonna be honest with you. No matter how good your songs are, if you have bad lyrics, keep talking about the same bullshit for years, people are gonna eventually get tired of it. That's just how it is. Alright, flat out. Like, okay, like for a good example, Lil Baby. Like, people say he had the same flow and shit, but that's honestly just not true. Like, his flows are a lot different. They're melodic and like melodic trap mix, but they're definitely a lot different if you actually listen to his songs. But his lyrics were so generic and they were so plain that people got tired of him. He was in the game. He was running the game for like 5 years straight. But after that, people were like, "Bro, do something else." People got tired of hearing those same lyrics, those same generic lines. Like, there's no Lil Baby lines really that make you go like, that's a bar. That's tough. Make you pause, hit a little stank face. Like, I can only think of any Lil Baby lines that make me go like that. He's a vibe, but he's not really one of those like hard hitting lyricists. So if he starts doing some lyrical shit, he gonna come back. I'm gonna be honest with you. But yeah, and like I said earlier, the versatility with your lyrics, it doesn't have to be some crazy. It just has to be something that's nice, like make people think for a second. Like, people can't just turn off their brains while they're listening to your music. They have to actually be focused on what you're saying. That's what you want. You want to command their attention, not just be some background noise for them while they're thinking about other shit. Like, your song's playing, they're thinking about what they're gonna eat for lunch. Like, no. When your song's playing, they are focused on your song because they don't want to miss the lyrics you're gonna say. Okay? That is what I'm talking about. And the Soul Stone, adaptability. Now, I say this would be the Soul Stone because you're going to have to sacrifice something. Whether it be your artistic vision, whether it be your original sound, you're going to have to sacrifice something. Okay? I mean, look at rap. Rap has never stayed the same for a decade straight. It hasn't, alright? Like, when rap first started, we had the hip hop to the hip hop, finna go down to the ice cream shop, and then we boogie. Like that 80s type shit, right? And then what happened a decade later? Okay, what happened a decade later? NWA. Talking about fuck the police coming straight from the underground. A young nigga got it bad cause I'm brown. Like yeah. And then that made the way from aggressive rap to more like trap rap. To be like, down on the block and we selling hella bags. You already know we running up these big racks. Yada yada yada. Which led the way for R&B rap to take over. Like, R&B was becoming more popular. It was getting mixed in the rap and stuff. People were singing, rappers were singing and all that shit in like the late 2000s. And then that led to like the club rap era, which was like the 2010s, which led to the SoundCloud era, which is called the mumble rap era. And then that led to the melodic era that we've been in since about 2020. But even then, that's starting to change now. We're starting to go back to like that ghetto rap. You see all these, like every women's rapper that's coming up right now is doing that same ghetto rap stuff. And the men, they're being more creative. It's just like, who can do something unique the best? That's what rap is becoming. We're moving out of the melodic era. Alright? And mind you, those like 6 different things I told you, all those happened within the last 25 years. So I would be insane to think rap is going to stay the same from 2024 to, I'm assuming when I'll be done with this series, around 2035, 36. Like, it would be insane to assume that, right? So you need to adapt. You need to sacrifice your original sound. Just like Lil Wayne. He isn't rapping the same how he used to rap. Look up some early Lil Wayne songs. That shit sounds nothing like Lil Wayne 2024. You need to adapt. You need to be able to move on. And if your style is iconic enough, you can get away with still doing your style when it's out of fashion. And people are going to listen to it because it's your style. Like Drake, right? He's done so many different genres, but he's still able to adapt. He makes those genres into his own. He mixes his style with theirs beautifully. Alright? And that's why people don't like him. They hate that he's so good at doing other genres that they feel like he shouldn't be good at doing. Like, I'm be honest with you, that's why people don't like Drake switching from genres to genres to genres. because he's too good at it. And that's why he's the biggest artist in the world. He got that worldwide marketability. Damn near, no matter what your like local genre is or like what your country's into, there's gonna be a Drake song or maybe even a Drake album or project that's similar to it that you can enjoy. So you need to be able to adapt not only to a worldwide stage, but adapt to the times. Alright, like Lil Wayne does. And that's why I say personally he's the greatest rapper of all time. He has everything I mentioned. He may not be like number one at this stuff, but overall he's very high up there on everything I've mentioned so far. Alright? Like he's got that. Like he has iconic lot. Like let's go over Lil Wayne, right? He got his Space Stone, his iconicness. When you hear that lighter flick, you know Wayne's about to come on the track and start spazzing. When you hear that auto tune of Wayne singing, you know Wayne's about to start spazzing. We see Lil Wayne on the feature, and you see like it's a melodic artist or even like just any modern day artist, like you know Wayne's about to start spazzing, right? Like you notice that's the iconicness. He's got the flow. Like you'll listen to his first song, Look at Me Now. Like his flow is crazy. He got the flow certified. People know he can really rap like that. He can go slow, he can go fast. People know this. He's got the voice. His iconic voice and his auto-tune, his mixing style, that's iconic. Nobody can replicate that. When you hear that, you're gonna think Lil Wayne every fucking time. Even though other people do that style, he has such a specific way of doing it. If someone tries to copy it, the first thing you're gonna think, that nigga's trying to be Lil Wayne. Longevity. You got the longevity of doing this shit for 20, 30 years, being on top of the game. He may not be at the very, very top anymore, but he's still high up there. Like, he's still on damn near every top 10 list. He's still dropping new music to this day that's banging. Like the Undisputed theme song he dropped by himself. That shit was a banger. Like, and he's been dropping bangers for 25 fucking years. Okay? Like, there's that longevity. The adaptability, like I said, he carries the old sound. He was doing that shit beautifully. And the new sound, the new wave, he's able to carry those niggas and do it great. Like Polo G on Gang Gang. He brought Lil Wayne on to his own style. That's very much a Polo G type song. And then Lil Wayne carried Polo G on a Polo G type song. Come on now. Come on now. And he's got the lyricism. Like people go back to his lyrics and he doesn't even know he wrote, bro. He's written so many lyrics that he just forgets what he writes. And they'll be so deep, people will still quote them to this day. Like, bitch, real G's moving silence like lasagna. Once again, a simple lyric, but it hits so fucking hard that people are still quoting it over a decade later. Or that latex thing, where he was able to take that one rhyme and spin it into a whole mini story. That's goated lyricism right there. And that's why I say Wayne is the greatest rapper of all time. He has all the things I mentioned, and he's damn near at the very top of them. Alright, that's why I say he's overall the best rapper ever. Straight up. Alright, so that's what I'm trying to get to. That's where I need to be. Where someone that is able to do all these things so well that I'm going to be up there all time. Alright? Because you can't just do one or two things well and call it a day. No, you need to be able to do everything extremely well. You may not need to be the best at it, like the best all time, number one, undisputed. Like that's just unrealistic. But if you're great at doing all these things, people are gonna put you in those GOAT combos. People are gonna put you in those, oh my god, this nigga really might be the greatest of all time combos. At least the mature people that aren't gonna be blind by nostalgia, be like, oh, this rapper I liked 20 years ago, no, he's still the best. Nobody's ever top 10. Like that right there, that's delusion. Alright, we don't care about those people. Normal, realistic people, if you do everything I'm doing and I'm able to do this shit successfully, they're gonna put me up there as one of the best to ever do it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Anything come from experience. So yeah, like Mr. Rapconic, like I'm trying to do something like that. Okay? Like next album name it like Flow Legendary or something. Like Legendary Flow. Alright? Or like the Time Stone, name it like Chronomyth. Like Chronic, which would be Chronos, my bad, which would be time, and then myth, like this guy is so got such good longevity, it's damn near mythical. Like I'm trying to do that for each of these albums, And after that, I want to create a 7th album. That's just going to be the throwaways. Yep, just the throwaways. Because doing 6 albums with these particular styles, I'm gonna have a fault. I'm gonna have songs that didn't make the cut, songs I didn't like, yada yada yada. Right? Like I'm gonna have those. Hell, I had like 4 songs that didn't make the cut with my new album that I just dropped. And I rushed through that shit. I could easily put them on there, but I didn't want to. I wanted the quality. Alright? So yeah, I'm gonna do that, like how Drake does Care Package, where he dropped a bunch of unreleased songs. I'm gonna do that. Tie it all into the Infinity Gauntlet, end the series with a bang. Maybe call it I Am Inevitable or something like that. Or Destiny Arise. Yeah. Or like Uninevitable Greatness. Something like that. We can do that. Just have it be in sections. I'm assuming there's gonna be like at least 4 songs per section, which would be 24 songs. Yeah, so it's gonna be a long album of just all the unreleased songs, unreleased verses that people never got to hear. And I feel like if it's gonna get leaked, because I'm honest with you, if I go mention a lot, my shit's gonna get leaked. But if it gets leaked, hey, I might as well make money off it and post it. So yeah, if I had to guess in which order I would be doing these things, it would probably be in this order. Well, obviously, 1 right here. Let me change to a color that isn't here. 1. Wait, that's too damn big. 1. 2. That's flow. This will be a tough one. 3. 4. Reason I would do lyricism first before voice, because over the time of me doing these albums and me dropping singles, I'm gonna get my voice up naturally. And my lyricism, I would have to work on that specifically. I already got good lyrics, so it wouldn't be that hard, but I would have to specifically work on that. Alright? And I'll have to adapt my style to that, because I don't do lyrical songs like that. Hell, I had a lyrical song that was supposed to be on this album, and it didn't make the cut because it was a Malak album. But hey, honestly, I could put that on the 7th album in the series, the finale, as an unreleased one that you'll never heard. Well, we can do that. Alright? And then obviously 5 and then 6. So that would be the order that I would release these albums in. I would release the iconic one, Mr. Rapconic. The Flow album would probably be 2025 or 2026. I feel like that'd be the easiest one to make. I would probably release a lyrical album after that. And then the voice album was me trying out a bunch of different voices and shit. Maybe get a singing album going. Maybe get like a little R&B album going. Like half R&B, half like distortion shit. Like how Eternal Take 2 was. Like that album focused a lot on Uzi's vocal range and what he can do with the distortion and shit and the effects. So maybe I can do something like that. And the adaptability, because I'm trying to release these every other year. Like if I have to, like I would probably maybe wait. I don't know. Like if I can think of another album and like just like a general album that doesn't really focus on one of these topics too heavy for 2025, I can do that. Or if I just got not released now for 2025, it'd be like that sometimes. So yeah, I'd probably start 2026 when I release this one right here, the Flow album, and I'll try to do this every 2 years. Okay, so 2028 release the lyrical album, 2030 release the voice album, because I'll have a lot more experience with my mixing and my distortion effects, not my vocal range. I'd have years to practice that. And then the adaptability album, because now we'd be in 2032. Okay, we'd be 12 years in my music career. So the music game is definitely not going to be the same by then. So we would have to adapt. Alright, I feel like that'd be a perfect time to release it. Show people that I can adapt to the times, whatever they are. And we would have, lastly, the longevity album, which would be 14, maybe 15 years in, maybe 2035, on my 15th anniversary of being an artist. Because 15 years for a music career to survive is fucking difficult, man. Most people, especially rap when people end up dead or in prison, or they fall off, they stop dropping music, they retire, get their money and they just chill on the beach somewhere, or they just drop trash quality music because they can't keep up because they don't got the goddamn adaptability. Like, that's a long ass time. I thought Lil Baby was gonna run the game for a while. That nigga, 5 years in, completely fell off the face of the earth. He went from the top to damn near the bottom pretty much instantly, and all it took was one bad album. Well, actually, not even bad. It was just a good album, like just okay, average. That's all it took. Because he was doing so good for so long, people were expecting more from him. Yeah, I'm not gonna let that happen to me. I don't care how long it takes. I'm not letting it happen to me. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's my plan of attack. I mean, I would obviously release like an album or like a little mixtape or something in between those. These wouldn't be my entire albums, and I damn sure wouldn't be retiring after that. Well, actually, maybe I would. 15 years in the game would be a lot, and I would have nothing to prove. Yeah, maybe if I find myself not being able to make a good album after that, or like one of my best albums after that, then I would retire. But as of right now, that's not the plan, to retire in about I say around 12 to 15 years when this album series is done. I'm gonna try to release albums in between then. Hopefully I'll have it in a few years where it's a lot more efficient. I can go to the studio and shit and work with people to make my songs come out faster instead of me working by myself entirely on a song unless I get like a feature. And even then, it's just me waking up one day to a notification that they recorded and then me still doing the work after that to make sure it sounds right, the mixing and stuff. So yeah, hopefully I can get me a team going so I don't have to do everything my fucking self. But hey, until that day comes, it's all me. Alright, so hopefully I'll be able to release a little mixtape or something, or an album in between, because I still want to drop an album yearly. That's still my goal, to drop at least one project a year, mixtape, EP, album, something. I don't want to go a full calendar year without dropping anything like that, or just dropping singles. That's not me. I hate when rappers do that, and one of my favorite rappers did that. I refuse. Like, I want to be like DC Adon. He is great with consistency and great with dropping projects. Like, he drops an album usually once a year. He drops a deluxe maybe like a month after that. Like, that's what I want to be. I want to have DC Adon consistency. Alright, if y'all know about his consistency, look it up. That's all I tell you, just look it up. He's constantly dropping little like 2 or 3 song projects. He's dropping an album like I said, about once a year. Like, that's what I want for me. Alright, so I'm not gonna focus entirely on this series, but I will work on it in the background. Like, say I finish my album for 2025, well, I'm gonna be working on my Flow album right after that for 2026. Yeah. Alright, that's all I gotta say. That's the plan. I don't know how true it's gonna be. I don't know how much I'm gonna stay to that or what's gonna change, but I just had the idea pop in my head, and that's what I am gonna do. Alright, that's the plan for my music career, because I've never seen anyone else do this, ever. I've never seen anyone else. People have had album series, obviously, but I've never seen anyone tie them all together like this, where it's like everything is connected, everything's intentional. It was like, this album sounds like this album sounds like this album sounds like this album sounds like this, yada yada yada. Like, but you should be like, okay, drop a good album, drop another good album, and have it be in the series, and not call it a day. And then wrap it up how I'm gonna wrap it up with this combination of stuff. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that. I'm gonna just keep it honest with you. But hey, that's just my plan. That's what I do. I plan stuff out elaborately. I make my little ideas in my head and shit. And that's what I do. I try to be creative. I try to do shit no one's ever done. Like, now I'm out of my cloning phase. This is just me. This is awesome all the time. I've never seen anyone else do this. Never seen anyone else even try to do this. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay? Okay. Now let me check, make sure I hit screen record with mic on. And if I didn't, I'm going to be pissed. But just in case I did, and if you stay to the end and listen to this madman ramble on about future dreams, then I fucking love you. I know I say I love you every time I upload a video or every stream, at least I try to every time. But if you stay to watch this entire thing, I genuinely love you more than the rest. Yes, I have favorites. Alright? Be good people, drink some water, get some pussy. I love you all, especially if you watch the entire video. Goodbye.